Hi, welcome to Yoga with Andrea. I'm glad you've tuned in, and I hope you take some time for yourself. I love teaching this, and I love that you guys do take time and you do record the show and you do practice with me. I hope it's making a big difference for you. I'm pretty sure it is. I want to tell you, though, I have some fun, exciting things that have happened. A new sponsor for my clothing. This is Love This Life t-shirts, and then a new mat. This is from Boulder Mat Company. And they come in all different kinds of designs. And I love this one with the koi fish on it. It's just so pretty. And I have koi at the yoga center. So when I saw this, I said, I've got to have this mat. And so they've sent me a mat for the show, and then we have them for sale at the yoga center. But they're just beautiful. And they're also, the ink is environmentally friendly ink, and the mat is environmentally friendly. So nowadays people are really into that and wanting to tread lightly on the earth, which I am totally in favor of. As you can see, I'm sitting on the floor. So if you'd like to join me, take off your shoes, get comfortable, get barefoot, and sit down on the floor with me. We're going to start out with some easy breath work. Now, I've crossed my legs, and sometimes people do think, oh, I can't do that. I have students that when they cross their legs are up here, the knees are up like that. You know what you do? You sit on a pillow. You put pillows underneath your knees. You support yourself so that you can not have tension in the muscles, so they can just relax. Good. Let's take a moment together, focusing on our breath. And what I'd like to teach you today is this guided meditation or breath meditation with your hands. I do this sometimes at home. I have a meditation practice. I've got this little room where I sit and I have listen to really soothing music, which we have on the show, created by Brian Fowler. So start out with your hands, palms facing upward, resting on your thighs, on your knees. And think about that there's just a space in your hand. And when you exhale, you bring your thumb and index finger together. And when you inhale, you open your fingers back away from each other. And then when you exhale, again, bring your middle finger and thumb together. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring your ring and thumb together, ring finger and thumb. Very good. And then inhale, open. And again, last time you come to the little finger and you just let them touch as you exhale. And then you inhale, let them open. So do this along with me again, 2 more rounds. Exhale, you bring your thumb and index finger together. Just let them touch, feel the sensitivity on your fingertips. And then inhale, open. It's a great way to focus your mind into your fingers, focusing on your breath, letting yourself dial down. And this is a great technique you can use when you're at the office, or let's say you're stopped at a stoplight, or you're in traffic. You're going to keep driving. If you are stopped, you can just count on your fingers for a moment and let your breath and fingers bring you to a little bit more of a release of tension and quiet. I love to do this. This was one of my favorite ways of meditating, is focusing on my fingers. And I do it about 3 or 4 times through, and then I can just relax my hands, which you're going to do with me. Just let your hands be open, relaxing the fingers. It's like a little weight is sitting in the palm of your hand. Good. And breathe. And with your eyes closed, bring all your awareness into your hands. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Keep a nice, long, straight spine. And breathe. Good. And then we're going to bring your hands up together and press them together. Separate your fingers and press your little finger, ring finger, middle finger, index, thumb. So you look like this. Just press them together and lift your elbows without lifting your shoulders. And I'm wearing my Breathe t-shirt, so to remind you to breathe all the time. And you bring the elbows up, but not too high, not getting your shoulders in it. Just let the shoulders relax. And then slowly press your fingers, your one hand backwards, and then back up again. This is great for your fingers and for your joints. And if there's arthritis coming on in your hands, working the fingers and working the hands is very important. Good. And again, other way. These seems like such simple little moves, and they really are, but they're very powerful. Good. Now bring your fingers together. So instead of having them spread apart like this, bring them together. Good. And then separate the heel, this is the heel of your hand, away from each other, just keeping the fingers, in fact spread them out a little bit, keeping the tips of your fingers together. Yeah. And then lift your elbows up and just press your hands together, but resist them coming in. Just press the fingertips. Yep, relax your shoulders. As sometimes we start to get working our hands and we start to grit our teeth and tensen our shoulders, just relax them. Yep. Fingers together, pressing, and then let them come together. Yep. Let's do that again, lift them apart. And another thing we can do for our hands and our wrists is we call it counterposing. Because lots of times when we're in a lot of different yoga poses like downward facing dog, there's a lot of an acute angle to our wrists. So a counter pose is pushing your hand the opposite way. So let's say you've been doing a lot of down dog, so you just take your hand the other direction. So you stretch out your wrist, yeah. I'm getting your hands warmed up because we are going to be doing some more active poses and a little flow here that I love to do, and I do it in my classes, so you're going to join me. And then release and shake out your hands. And then take your legs and stretch them out in front of you. Release your knees. Let's open up our hip a little bit. So just baby cradle your right leg back and forth a few times, releasing our hip. Good. I hope you're sitting on the floor because this flow is done on the floor. You can do it on a yoga mat or you can do it on the carpet. Just make sure your feet are without shoes on, barefoot. Good. And then release your left leg. Let's come to all fours. We're going to start out in this sequence, downward facing dog. Hands are slightly ahead of your shoulders. The Sanskrit for that is Ado. Ado is downward. Mukha, Svanasana is dog. Turn your toes under. Come into the pose with me. Let your head release. Good. Downward facing dog. And then extend, bring your big toes together and extend your right leg up in the air. And then bring your knee forward. Whoa, bring your knee forward, bring your shoulder forward. This is a strong pose. And then stretch your leg back to the ceiling. Let's bring our shoulders forward again. Bring your knee forward. So your back leg is straight, front leg is bent, then straighten that leg up to the ceiling. Now we're going to bring our knee to the floor, right out in front of you. Yep. And push back through that back leg. This is called pigeon. Come up onto your fingertips. Draw your shoulder blades back. Oh, stretch that hip. Some of you do this pose with me at the center. What we're going to do is we're going to extend over that front knee. So look down at the floor, extend to the crown of your head, and fold over your knee. And then on an inhale, lift yourself back up. So I know for some of you this may look like a very challenging pose, and others of you that watch this show love this pose. It's great for the lower back, also for the hip. Now, the back leg, the toes are pointing backwards. Stretch forward over your knee again, and then stay there with me. Bring your elbows out in front. We'll stay here for a few breaths, and you can rock back and forth in your hips from side to side. That's it. Good. And then bring yourself back up. So watch this. This is a fun move. You take your left hand, reach it behind you, grab your left leg, and swing it around so you bring the heel right in front of your shin. Good. And we twist. So the sequence has begun. We started in downward dog, pigeon, now seated twist. This is Ardha Matsyendrasana. And that's a closed twist into your thigh, and then we do an open twist. The open twist, you turn away from the bent knee, that's up, and twist the other way. That's it. Breathe. Just like my t-shirt says, breathe. Keep that breath flowing. All right, and come back to center. Now this is a little bit of a challenge. So see what you can do. Just see what you can do. You interlace your fingers. Place them around the bottom of your left foot, okay? And then start to pick your foot off the floor. See if you can, how much, maybe it's here. Maybe that's it. Maybe you can go a little further. Maybe you can take your leg all the way straight. See what you can do. Breathe. Hold it there. A few breaths. Yes. Oh, I feel the stretch. You probably do too. Right down that calf muscle, into the behind, soften the knee a little bit. If it's pulling all here, soften it, and then Feel it in your hamstrings. Yeah, good. Now let your heel come back down to the floor. And now straighten your leg. Straighten your leg right over that foot. So you've got your bent knee here, and you've got your foot underneath your thigh, and then straighten your leg. That's it. The pressure of the foot into your thigh releases your hamstrings. And then reach up your arms and fold towards your foot. Oh, do you feel that? You hear me make these little comments. I feel it. If you need to, you can bend your knee. See how you can modify. That's the beauty of VariYoga, is please make the pose fit you instead of you trying to force yourself into something you're not ready for. Good. Inhale, back up, and now we come we call it the mermaid flow. We bend that knee and bring your foot to the ankle into the arch of your foot. Now, what I want to just tell you this, if you can't get your feet together, just take them apart like this. You want your knees to touch the floor, like that. And then lean out to your right. Just take that right hand like this. And then cross your left arm over. Keep your hands shoulder width apart. And we're going to stretch the left arm out in front of us. You're getting a nice stretch down the side of your torso. And breathe. Good. And then inhale, open up. And exhale, take that left hand and feed it underneath your right. Turn and look away from the television. Let's inhale and open up again. And exhale, fold and thread your hand. Inhale, open up again. One more time with me here. Just thread your hand underneath that right arm. And then back up again. Excellent. And you'll come back to sitting. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. Let's come back to all fours. This time it's going to be your left leg that's going to go up in the air. So set your base, hands wide apart, shoulder width apart. Turn your toes under, knees off the floor of the mat, left leg up in the air. Inhale, bring your knee forward. I'm sorry, I said the wrong breath. Inhale, take the leg up. Exhale, forward. Good. Oh, feel your shoulders. And forward. It's great to strengthen the arms and the back. And this time you bring your knee to the floor, right up there by your hand, the front end. Yeah, stretch back to the other leg. Oh, I love this stretch. This is a good one to do if you do suffer from low back and sciatic issues. And if you travel a lot, and then we're going to do is fold over the knee. Slowly bring your head forward, and then slowly come back up. So it's an exhale down, and an inhale back up. Yeah. And now this time stay down on the floor with me. Bring your elbows down. Oh yeah. And let your head come down. Stretch back through that right leg, and the toes are pointing back. And this rock gently from one hip to the other. Feel the stretch start to deepen into your hips. Breathing. Good. And come back up. And let's switch. Let's bring that back leg around to the front, bending the knee, bringing your heel in front of your shin. Yeah. And now twist with me here. Do a closed twist. Wrap your elbow around your knee and hug it in. Turn away from your knee, looking over your shoulder. Let the shoulders melt away from your ears. Breathing. Twists are great for, as I said in earlier shows, for your metabolism, but also excellent for your spine. Because you think about your spine, and if you get up every day and you just move forward, you hardly do any back bends, you hardly do any twists. So this is great to help hydrate the discs between your vertebrae. Good. Now try this with me. We did on the other side. You interlace your hands. So holding the foot is just it's your legs are too tight. Just grab your ankle. Let's try that. I'll do that with you. Grab your ankle and see if you can straighten up your leg a little more that way. Holding the foot may be a little more challenged. So you do what works for you. Maybe holding the calf this time and the knee bent. Just try to pull your leg up. Maybe it's just right here. That's fine. Just find what works for you. So you bring the leg up. The bottom knee is bent, pressing into the floor. I'm going to walk my hands up. There you go. Beautiful. Then we bend the knee, set your heel down, and let your right leg rest on the top of your Wait, that's, yeah, your left foot. Good. So my leg's pushing down into my foot, and the foot is pushing to my hamstrings, which helps loosen and release the hamstrings. And then inhale, come up, and exhale, forward. Yeah, good. Keep breathing. Now again, if you have to bend your knee, that's fine. Bend your knee. That's good. It's okay. Everybody is on this journey of yoga, and you know your body does want to work for you, and you just have to go slow with it, and it's amazing what it can do. I can do more things now, more poses in yoga than I could when I first started. I was in a lot of pain when I first started yoga. My back, my shoulders, they were in a mess. And then come up. Let's take that right leg and bend it, cradle your ankle and your foot, or separate your feet, whatever's gonna work for you. And then lean over to your left. Good, keep your knees apart. And then let's take that right arm around. Oh yeah, and stretch. Getting a lateral stretch to the ribs and the side body. Breathe. You don't have to lie down. It's just still your arms are reaching, but you're up off the floor a little bit. That's it, and breathe. And then we're gonna open up here. We're gonna open up, take that arm up towards the ceiling. You can take your gaze, follow your thumb. Inhale, and then exhale. Feed that hand underneath the left arm. Look behind you. Good. Inhale, open up. Exhale, twist and turn. Inhale. Beautiful. And one more time. All right. And come back to sitting. Yeah. And then I'm going to invite you to lie down on your back, okay? So I'm going to move my mic to the side. Just plant your feet so they're about hip width apart, and bring them in underneath your knees, and then slowly roll your spine down onto the floor, onto a mat. I'm going to scoot down a little bit here. Place my head right on the butterfly, I think. Yeah, I love this mat. All right, so then bring your right knee into your chest. Just pull it in, feel your back release, press it into the floor. Good. And then change sides, take the other knee in. And we're going to do a little back bend here. We call it easy bridge. What you use the power of your legs and your feet. You set your feet on the mat, arms beside you. And as you inhale, you slowly lift your hips away from the floor. Press into your feet. Sometimes we end up rolling the outside, or we don't use our toes. I want you to use all four corners of your feet. Press into those toes. Lift the hips to the ceiling. Move your chest towards your thighs. Press your hands into the floor. And then we're going to lower down. You're going to lower down from your shoulders first. Shoulders, mid-back, low back. Flatten your back, tuck your tailbone, and then relax. Good, let's do that again. Press into your feet. Engage your legs. Inhale, slowly lift up. Great little back bends. Again, we're opening up the front of the spine, the anterior spine, creating space for those discs. You think about yourself sitting at your desk all day, you compress the discs and then slowly release down. Last thing to tuck is your tailbone, so you lengthen your spine. Do it with me one more time. Inhale up. Oh, these are wonderful for your back. And then release down. Good. Come up off your back. You're going to roll to your side. This is the best way to come off the floor or out of your bed, is roll to one side and use your arms and push up. And the reason why that is so good for you is a lot of people, they lie down and they pop right up again. By doing it to the side, you just engage the back muscles. It keeps them from tensing up. They're just relaxed. If you've ever gone to a chiropractor, usually when they finish working on you, they ask you to turn to your side and come up. Same thing in yoga. Good. So let's sit with our feet right together. We're doing this. I was doing this with my cameraman earlier today. We were practicing seeing how far we can get our knees to the floor. But you know, it's not about bouncing and dropping your knees. It's about just pressing your feet together and letting the knees open up towards the floor, and then lengthen up through your spine. Yeah. So if your knees don't go all the way to the floor, that's fine. It's not about doing this. Don't butterfly them. Don't press them hard to the floor. Just let the gravity pull them down. Good. And then bring your knees together. Excellent. Straighten your legs out in front of you. Do another little flow with me here. Move to your side. If you're on a mat, move to one edge of the mat and bend your right knee. Yeah, good. It's called the Janu Shirshasana flow. So we inhale, take our arms up. We've opened up our hips earlier. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back up. Now here we go. We're going to do a twist. Turn away, turning to your right. Plant your right hand. Inhale, sweep the left arm overhead and turn your toes towards the floor. And then exhale, come back down. I hope you tried that. Come again, do it with me. Inhale, come on, we can do it together. And exhale, reach for your toes, maybe your ankle, maybe your shin. Inhale, back up. Exhale, turn, plant your hand firmly on the floor and sweep your left arm overhead. Do a little back bend. I love this sequence because it gets a twist, a forward bend, a little back bend. It moves your body and also strengthens your shoulders. We'll do one more this direction. And what I like to do is turn your foot in, press into the mat, and then come back down. Beautiful. Let's change sides. So the reason why I sit to the side of the mat, for me if you have a mat, is it protects your shin. If you're on carpet, that's fine. You probably won't need any padding. Inhale up, exhale, fold. And back up again. And twist and turn. This is a strong movement. I know you can do it. And come back down. The thing I love about yoga is there's a place where you start. And if you continue practice, you will be in another place within 6 months, a year. You will be amazed how your body responds. You'll feel healthier. You'll be less stressed. You'll breathe better. Your spine will be happy. You'll probably be eating a little differently. You know, yoga is a whole person wellness. And come back down. Good. Isn't that fun? Let's do it one more time. It's one of my favorites. Because you get a forward bend, reach up, you get a twist. Here's the twist. You get a little back bend. You're opening up the front of your torso. And you come back down. Beautiful. Straighten out your legs again. Let's just tap our backs of our thighs to the mat. And another stretch that we can do here, seated forward bend with our knees bent. We did this in the previous show, but I love to do these. And then fold forward. This is a little flow, because then what you're going to do is bring your arms up, bring your hands behind you, either turn your fingers away from each other or towards your toes. And then inhale, lift your hips. And then exhale, sit back down. Inhale, extend your arms up. Exhale, grab your toes. Inhale, lift up. Probably the easiest part of this whole thing is folding forward. The hardest part probably is lifting your hips, but you're strengthening your arms. You can do it. And then release down. Inhale up again. Exhale, fold. I think we've just got a few more minutes here. I hope you've taken time to join me. One thing when you lift up, plant your feet, plant your hands, and then come back down. Straighten out your legs. Good. Isn't that amazing how quickly it goes, how fast it flows? Earlier I had you do some hand work. Let's release our wrists again. Let's do a little counter pose here. So you press your back of your hand down, stretching at the top of your wrist. Yeah, and then the other side. Good, because sometimes we can build tension there. And if you're not used to using your hands in yoga poses like downward dog or reverse plank, they can feel the stress. And you want to just honor that and release, because with time they will get stronger. When I first started yoga, I couldn't do any of the downward dogs without having to stop every few minutes because my wrist hurt. Now it's no problem. So you do get stronger. Well, we have to bring the show to an end. So I'd like to end again with that opening that we did with our awareness in our hands and our breath. And so take time for yourself, always. Yoga is not always about just fast, fast, fast. It can be a slowed, gentle practice. My father is still alive. He's 85, going to be 85, and he's a medical doctor. And he always said, as we get older, what happens is we lose our flexibility. People begin to shuffle. They don't use their shoulders. They don't move their body. And when they don't move their body and their shoulders, everything, they don't get the circulation they need. So if you can do things that'll just keep those big range of motion in your arms and your legs, don't have to be hard. You don't have to lift hundreds of pounds or even 5 pounds. Just take time to move your body. This is a great way. The yoga is a great way for you to do that. So let's let our hands rest on our knees. Close your eyes. Not often do you get asked to close your eyes while you're watching TV, but I invite you. Let the music help you settle, dial down. As you exhale, you bring your thumb and index finger together. As you inhale, you open your fingers apart. So I'll join you here. We'll just let the music carry us away. Stay focused on your breath.